most finance jobs are desk jobs. It's almost like adult daycare. I wasn't sleeping. I was fat. I was smoking cigarettes. I was constantly stressed out. But I would say if you don't know what you want to do in college, you might want to think going to a community college to save money, because I don't think kids realize at the end the bill is due no matter what. My name is Rob. I make my own beard products called No Country for Beardless Men. It's kind of like my side business. My wife and I make all these. We specialize in scent profile, so we make fragrances that are out of this world. My wife's a genius, and I used to go to a store called Lush, and there was a solid cologne I used to like, and I put it on my beard, and I was like, oh, I really like this. And my wife's like, hold my beard, watch this, I can make it myself. So she started making things for me, for my beard, and she's very creative. She kept on making more and more, and finally we were like, well, I gotta bring this out to people. It's so good. So we just started making it, and it kind of took off from there. We're only a year, coming up to our third year this September. So our sales have gone up each year, and we keep on expanding, and people really like it, return customers. So it's something that has been building. So I kind of take that as a progression to being successful. So it's been pretty good so far.
What's your position in the company?
Oh, I'm the owner. My wife and I are like we own it together. But I have a real full-time job as a special needs teacher.
Okay, so this is 2 jobs going.
Yeah, I have other jobs too, but I'm always grinding. I'm a hustler. So
Is there anything between the 2 jobs that that applies to both? Like any skills that you
Yeah,
take
so I have
between-
like what people call the gift of gab. I just like to talk, and like
Okay.
I encourage people. People sometimes are drawn to me. So I kind of like use that kind of like energy I have to kind of like talk to people, help them through and stuff. So a lot of guys don't know what to do about their beards. And it's really simple. So I kind of walk them through it and they feel comfortable. And I want guys to be confident. So I think a lot of guys struggle with that. So I think that kind of helps the whole piece of it. Yeah.
How long have you had your beard?
Oh, good question. I had the worst goatee ever for like 10 plus years. I don't know why, it's so stupid. But then I started growing a beard around 2018, and it was short. Then all of a sudden I just let it go, and it's just getting awesome. So about 8 years-ish. Yeah.
8 years?
Yeah.
Wow. Not that long in terms of life.
No, and it's always been there. I had a beard in high school, full beard in high school. I
Okay.
just never like grew it out, but I should have had that the whole time.
And what got you into special needs education?
Good question. So I'm just like good about helping people. People are drawn to me. It happens randomly. I just help people. So it comes like second nature to me. And I guess like you have a gift and talent, you can just kind of go with it. And that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
How did you know that you had that talent? Like, when's the first time you really thought that you were skilled?
But
with
even
it?
when I was a kid, like older people come to me for help. I'm a bigger, muscular guy, so people are respected. I help people being bullied in high school. I always played sports, was a captain. I was always a leader, so I was always like a leader role. So it kind of fell in naturally. And I used to work in finance. It was very like just underwhelming and soul sucking. I graduated a long time, 2002, so it was a long time ago. So I dropped out of finance around 2010, got my master's in special education, and it was good because as a thing that teachers don't know, you can get what's called public service loan forgiveness if you're a public worker. So I got my loans forgiven after 10 years, so that was a big part of it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you study in undergrad?
It's funny. It was history and political science. I thought I'd be in the CIA, that kind of stuff, but I didn't like the more I found out about things, I didn't want to be part of that, and I thought I'd be a lawyer. I think a lot of people are gifted to know exactly what they want to do when they're 17. I didn't. So I'm 45, and I'm still like, I can do anything. So, you find your niche as things go on.
So in going back to high school, what did you think you would end up in? Or?
Oh, okay. So I very traditional, like that. You think you go to college, get the job, get the 2-car garage, house, and kids, but that's not how the world works at all. So especially after 9/11, everything like flipped. So I guess you have to go with the punches sometimes. I thought it would be much easier to do certain things, and now we live in a time it's very expensive and wild. So you gotta have to like go with the flow. I would not suggest an oil.
Oh, that's
yeah.
good to know.
Oil's not for the skin; it's for the tips of the hair because you have less oil glands here than here.
Okay.
So when the hair grows out, that's why it gets irritated and like very prickly because it's losing hydration. This replenishes it. So sorry.
Oh no. What do you think a beard says about someone? Like, are there types of beards that?
All right. I
mean
think
things?
beards are manly, masculine, strong. Beard hair is grown. It's a form of testosterone. So it's funny, as balding is also a form of too much testosterone. There's various types of testosterone. So the hairier you are, it's a type of testosterone. The balder you are, it's a type of testosterone. So I'm just a whole bunch of testosterone. So good or bad. So I do a deal too. So I know you're starting your beard journey.
Yeah,
lengthwise.
yeah.
So everything's 1 for 30, but I give you 3 for 50. I give you 1 free, but it's totally up to you. I don't want
No,
to
I'll
approach
just
you.
do the one.
I figured as much.
Thank
I'll give
you.
you a bag, yeah.
How did you go about making your first sale or your first 10 sales?
I would go to like farmers markets and I would just start talking to people. And like as you kind of saw, people don't know a lot about this,
Yeah.
even if they have beards. So the more you kind of talk about it and show guys how simple it is, again, I want guys to be confident. And like if you smell good, you feel good, you look good, you'll attract that too. So like it's more of like simple little markets and stuff. And I found my niche in like a Renaissance fair and like a brewery.
A lot of beards around there.
Yeah. It's actually P-Town. The Bears love me. I have like a big part of my business, the Bears. Yeah, so
The bear.
yeah. I look like a bear, so yeah.
I like how you said, you smell good, you feel good.
Oh, it's true. And like a lot of guys don't have confidence. And like I don't know about you women, but like guys' lives are much different. We have to like earn our keep type thing.
Yeah.
And it's easy to be discouraged today as a young man.
Think your background in finance helps you with run the business at all?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Not at all?
Most finance jobs are desk jobs. It's almost like adult daycare. I think a lot of like corporations like do it for tax write-offs. I mean, I was good at it, whatever, but just because you work in finance doesn't mean you know
Yeah.
finance, if that makes any sense. I'm not saying I didn't know finance, but it sounds more glorious than it really is.
Yeah, a lot of people want to go into finance. So
It's
what?
because they think it's a lot of money, and it can be in certain things, especially sales, if you like have like certain certifications. But if you're entry level, you're just a peon in a place, and again, you have to work your way up, I guess. But it depends.
What's like a day in the life as finance guy?
Okay, you fight an hour and a half of traffic, get
Yeah.
there, you get to read emails, corporate nonsense, you get calls nonstop, it's always your fault. And you don't really get paid that well, and then you get stressed out all day, and then you drive home, and you have to log in. So that was my experience. I mean, maybe other people have different experiences, but there's various levels of finance, we'll say. But majority of them are more desk-oriented, market-oriented, and client-centered. So I worked with like clients, so I was like very client-facing. So yeah.
Advising or
We were like known as financial custodians. So like massive banks would have clients, and we'd hold their assets, and we like do back office trading with them, certain like orders like that, make sure trade settled, make sure wires went out. So it's more of like the background work. Most of finance is more background work rather than like me telling my agent to make a sale on the stock market. Can I help you guys? If you follow me and you're not, because I give you a discount code for 20% off my website.
how did you know you were done with finance, and how did you actually quit?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I wasn't sleeping, I was fat, I was smoking cigarettes, I was constantly stressed out. And I started finance around 2006, making really good money. By 2007, I bought a house. And then by 2008, there was a massive financial collapse. You want to be around that time period. But there was a housing, all these like bad mortgages, everything put their money into, and they collapsed, and all the economies changed, and overtime was gone. So like, it got really not great after that. And then driving an hour and a half back and forth each day and logging in, it wasn't healthy and it wasn't good for me. So I sought other opportunities after that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you were kind of involved in '08 or affected by
Yes, very much
professionally.
so. Very much so. Yeah. So
What
I mean,
in-
before that, there was like, so what happens is when companies make like a book, they a financial record in a book, right? And they execute something in the street, right? And those numbers should match, right? 100 here, 100 here. Well, if it's 100 and this is 200, it caused like a break, right? So I was good at finding the cause of the breaks and fixing them.
Okay.
So I was on this thing where I would get so much overtime just fixing these things. And then once the housing market collapsed, 2008, the financial problem, all that ended. And there was all these regulations, and everyone was stressed, people losing their jobs. So it wasn't awesome after that. So
What advice would you give to someone who's a freshman in college?
drop out of college.
Drop out of college.
100%. College is a racket unless you know exactly. I'll give you an example. If you want to be a doctor, awesome. You want to be a dentist, awesome. If you're 17, you don't know what you're doing, you're signing on to a promissory note you cannot foreclose on. So college is how much a year, roughly? Average of 60 to 80, something like that. Times 4, that's
Sticker.
320,000 plus interest, probably 400,000. You leave as a young man at $400,000-ish as a promissory note that you got to pay back. What hurt me out of college is having to pay that back, and like you don't make a lot of money as a young man sometimes, and you're stuck. So I think actually the financial situation of young people, I think you're actually putting burdens on yourself that you don't realize. If you bought a house at 21, that's 17, right? And you can foreclose on it, right? You're good. If you have certain banknotes, certain issues, you can foreclose on it, right?
And what?
You
file bankruptcy?
File bankruptcy. You cannot with student loans, and then continuously accruing interest. It's so I don't know if you know what you know what mortgage means. The word
The
mortgage.
loan for a house.
Yeah, so break it out like Latin. Morte, engage. It's a death news. It truly is.
Really?
Interest is a death news. Yeah, mortgage. So you can't foreclose. So I would say unless you know exactly what you want to do and you have like family things lined up for a job, be aware that like I had friends that didn't go to college that became like plumbers, electricians, blah 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 blah, are crushing it way ahead of me. And like listen, I would say I'm more intelligent, I'm more engaging, I have more skills, but reality hits. What makes the world turn? Some things that aren't just sitting at a desk. So I would say if you don't know what you're going to do as a 17-year-old, go to community college, go to a free college, because at the end of the day, no one cares about where you go from. Unless it's Harvard, no one cares in jobs. You're entry level on all levels. So yeah, that would be my offer.
And what about now as a teacher, special education? What's a day in the life like that?
I work in high school, and I've worked in various programs. So I work in a sub-separate like secondary high school within the high school. I do my own math classes, Algebra 2 and Geometry Inclusion, which I'm in there with a teacher. I teach my own Geometry and Algebra 2, and I also work with like the social emotional program. So I am unusual. Being a guy in special ed, it's like you're a diamond in the rough. So I'm able to do a lot of different things. So I am all over the place, but I works
Yeah.
well.
How would you be able to tell if someone is like a younger person, if they'd be a good special ed teacher?
Oh, good question. Okay, so here's a little thing about education. So Massachusetts is different than most states. Okay, so in this state, you're required to have a master's degree, and then you need a lot of testing, all these things, right? If you taught in Idaho, for example, just making up a state, none of that applies. Any other state other than maybe New York, the pay is not great. Even when you're a starting teacher, pay is not great. But when you hit the high rungs at the end of it, like I'm 15 years in, do pretty good. I would say being a special ed teacher is awesome, but it's not enough money when you're younger to make it through. So be prepared if you're a special ed teacher to have a side gig, to do coaching. I do a lot of side contracts with the school, so be aware that you're going to need to have other side gigs as a young teacher. But for special ed, school doesn't teach you how to be a special ed teacher. It's all books and nonsense. You have to just be in the world and just figure things out a little bit. Yeah.
And being a business owner and having this other full-time job, how do you manage your time? Is it more or less stressful than the regular desk job in finance?
I think any job can be stressful. My wife has a disability, and so she can't work like a full-time job. So like we're kind of a single income family. So with that being said, I have other jobs on top. I do like private security for people too. So I'm always grinding, always finding stuff. And unfortunately, the way our world has worked the past 10 years, everything gets exceptionally harder and more expensive. So I think it's okay to grind. I think it's okay to have second jobs, but I would just be aware that like it's okay to like it's not for everyone too. So like education is a very strange place to work. Like being a masculine dude, education is very like a feminine type atmosphere. It's not that it's bad, but you'll stand out a little bit, and it could be so if you're a young men in special ed, you're like a unicorn. So it could be a good opportunity, but just be aware that like you may have to have other jobs on top of it to make ahead.
Yeah. You mentioned you're in private security?
Yeah, a little bit.
What's that like?
Okay, so it's not as glorious as it sounds. So I work for really wealthy people in the Cape. It's a place in Mashpee. It's called Popponesset. And they have a spit, it's basically a peninsula. Mm-hmm. On the bay side, they're very, very, very wealthy people. Bob Kraft has a house. They have like beautiful boats. And so it's a natural wildlife preserve and a private beach. They've had problems in the past with people having too much fun down there. Some other things wouldn't happen. So I during major holidays or over the summer, I just say hi to everyone. I smile and I talk to everyone, and this is no problem. So it's not as like I'm running around like a black jacket with a microphone. If you just smile at people, show people respect, and just ask them certain things, you get respect back like 99 out of 100 times. And then the one time, all you have to do is de-escalate. Like, am I going to like get in a tussle on a boat with somebody, or I'm just going to call the cops? I'm just going to call the cops, right? Yeah. So it's all about knowing where your line is and showing respect, and then knowing when to apply pressure, when not to.
Okay, so you've had to remove people from the beach? Or?
Yeah, I used to bounce too, so I've had other experiences, that kind of stuff too.
Okay.
But I mean, it's all about knowing people and how to talk to people. Like if you're not good at talking to people, you're gonna get emotional too easy. You're gonna cause them to be emotional. I'm sure you've seen videos of like interactions with police where people say, oh, the cop should have de-escalated, or that person was too much. Like, you have to know people and know how to like dance with people a little bit before it gets physical. And you can really figure things out before, unless the person's like out of their mind or drunk, and then you have to be prepared to like know how to defend yourself. That's all.
Yeah. Do you have a good example of when you might have wanted to use
Oh yeah.
physicality and then?
Yeah. I was working not at this job. I was bouncing, and it was a long time ago. So in Faneuil Hall, there used to be a bar called The Place, and the place was owned by ESPN people and like whatever. And so all the time there would be like baseball people, and Nomar Garcia, that's how old I am, would be go behind the bar, bartend, like Chris Berman, all the ESPN guys come in and hang out and stuff. And anyway, one night, at the end of the night, it was just right after 9/11, they had this video which showed all the Boston sports heroes, very patriotic, blah, blah, blah. And some guy threw a lit cigarette at the screen, wasted. Now, that's
at the screen?
At the screen.
TV screen?
No, well, it was like a tarp that came down, they projected it.
A projector screen?
Yeah, so he was being a jerk. And I was like, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. He's like, F you, blah, 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 blah. I do what I want. I know this guy, blah, blah. And he pushed me. And I was ready, but I knew my team really well, and my boss was awesome. So always taught to get him out. And so with assistance, without hands-on, he left. Then he tried to step to me, and my buddy took care of him, we'll say. So it's knowing when and where to control yourself. And I think we live in a world where, like, if you get too emotional and lose control, it can really just, like, hurt you. Mm-hmm. And I've always been someone that even in altercations, like, I never want to hurt someone that like, they actually get hurt. And eventually that would hurt me at the end of it. So
yeah.
I think being aware of physicality, being aware of aggression, it's okay to be aggressive, but it's a controlled aggression. So I think a lot of people, guys especially, need to learn controlled aggression. So you can be aggressive just with your stance, the way you stand, the way you sit, where you sit. Yeah. So it's all about control yourself. So it's not easy. It's okay not to know what you want to do. Like, when I was in school, I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. And I remember I almost got into computer science, like programming. And there was a big push for that like 10 years ago too.
Yeah.
But what's the world like now? AI, it's outsourced. So like, even if you know what you want to do, things can change. Okay, but I would say if you don't know what you want to do in college, you might want to think going to a community college to save money, because I don't think kids realize at the end the bill is due no matter what. And back to that whole mortgage thing, it means it's a death noose. Having that much debt is a noose on your life young. And I feel bad for kids. Like, when I left college, I left at like $50,000. I had tuition remission at BU. My father worked there, so I had like free tuition. But I paid for housing. It wasn't that bad. Mm-hmm. But kids today leaving with like $200,000 to $400,000 debt. You're gonna own a house now? Like, what are you gonna do? So it's okay to pause things too. So life's not a race; it's a marathon.
Yeah. How long did it take you to pay off the debt?
Okay, so I paid it right away out of college. I was paying, and this is 2002, right? Yeah. $400 a month, right? And that's a lot, right? So again, the jobs you get right out of college sometimes aren't very good earnings. So majority, and so what happens is you get stuck kind of living at home. You don't have a lot of other opportunities, and so like it could slow your progression in life to like be financially independent and secure, blah blah blah. So it's okay to go to college, but if you're not sure, you could pause things and like community college credits. So I had a friend that went to Cape Cod Community College, and they transferred into Harvard. You can easily transfer into schools rather than getting admission. So tell your sisters, okay, you can always transfer credits, save money. Yeah.
That's good advice.
Yeah, just my opinion, man.